Hi. So I was listening to Neil Oliver, who is, for those of you outside of England, is a Scotsman who is a commentator on television, and he has his own channel, and he's a Scottish intellectual. And he was talking about this new law just passed in Scotland, the hate crime bill. It probably has a different name, a longer name. So everyone in England has been, in the United Kingdom has been talking about it. I don't have a television, so normally the news, I catch the news sort of 2 or 3 days later than most people. But anyway, he was saying how remarkable he was, how dangerous he was, as everyone else is saying. And because you can actually be sent to jail for 7 years. Okay, so if you say something against these protected minorities, who most of them, I will deal with that in a moment, but you could actually be sent to prison for 7 years. And you cannot even... You have to censor yourself at home even, because if you say something that you disagree with and your child repeats it at school, they'll come for you. So this is extremely dangerous, and Neil Oliver was talking about it. So I decided to look up this First Minister of Scotland, and who is he? And this is what I find. Okay, so his name is Humza Yousaf, and he was appointed First Minister in March 2023. So appointed, not elected. Okay, so he went to the University of Glasgow. He studied politics there, but then, this is interesting, he is also an alumnus of the US State Department's prestigious International Visitor Learning Program. How interesting. That is the same program that Navalny, the Russian, who has just died a couple of months ago, I think. He was also taking, he also was an alumnus there. These are programs backed by the U.S. State Department, where the embassies throughout the world look out and pick people who have promise for the future politicians. Okay, so it is the equivalent of the World Economic Forum young leaders program. Okay, they find the right people for them, the people who would follow the agenda, and so Yousaf was one of them. Let me tell you just 1 or 2 things about him. He was born in Glasgow in 1985. He is of Pakistani heritage. He's a Muslim. Okay, and what else? Yousaf attained his first elected office at the age of 26 when he was chosen as a member of the Spanish Parliament for the Glasgow region in 2011. He took the oath of office in both Urdu and English, as he would again in 2016. At the same time, he wore both a sherwani, I hope I pronounced that right, sherwani, which is a coat traditionally worn by Pakistani men, and a kilt. Okay. He served first as transport minister, then as justice secretary, and then as the health minister, I believe. And according to what I read and my sources here, he was practically a disaster everywhere, but he was never dismissed. He was actually promoted. Oliver says that when he was a transport secretary, it was a disaster. The trains never ran on time, worse than ever. When he was in the Justice Department, the police and the courts overwhelmed with with crime and drugs. The drug problem became the worst in Europe, and when he was health minister, the waiting lists record high. So not dismissed, but promoted. Obviously, he is there, picked and appointed for a reason. But I think he might fail because he's introducing this bill too late, as I said. Let me move on. The second one is the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. Okay, Rishi Sunak was born in Southampton, England. Okay, and obviously the leader of the Conservative Party, but he was appointed too. He was not elected. Sunak was born May 12, 1980. Okay, Sunak was born into a family with immigrant roots. His grandparents emigrated from the Punjab in northwestern India to East Africa, where his mother and father were born in Tanzania and Kenya, respectively. And they met and married after their families migrated to England in the 1960s. Okay, so the same as the previous one, as Yousaf, from the Punjabi region, but the first one is from the Pakistani side, so he's Muslim, and Sunak is Hindu. Okay, Sunak went to a very exclusive private school with Winchester College that has produced no fewer than 6 chancellors of the exchequer. And then he went to Oxford, where he read philosophy, politics and economics. That's what I did too. He went to Lincoln College, Oxford, okay. And then he went after Oxford to the United States. He became an analyst for Goldman Sachs, working for the investment banking company until 2004. But then, as a Fulbright scholar, he actually did an MBA at Stanford University, where he met his future wife, Ashata Murthy, daughter of Narayana Murthy, an Indian billionaire and co-founder of technology giant Infosys. Okay, his wife is probably, her net worth can be as much as 1 billion. Okay, extremely wealthy people. Sunak came into office first as a Eurosceptic, believing, he said that he voted Leave at the Brexit referendum. And he said that he wanted a, quote, freer, fairer and more prosperous England. Sounds to me like, that's political talk. In any case, he went on to help with his votes Theresa May. And Theresa May, when he was trying to stop, if not altogether stop, at least not fully leave, but stay there halfway sort of thing. So he actually helped her. He's a Hindu by religion. Okay, the next one, Shadik Khan, the mayor of London. Okay, born to a British Pakistani family, he earned a law degree from the University of North London. He is a Muslim too, but Sunni. Khan was the 5th of 8 children born to a Sunni Muslim parents who had arrived in Britain from Pakistan shortly before his birth. Okay, he is known for, in London, for the environment thing especially. I mean, he has a lot of people vote for him because in London you have a population which is of immigrant origin. I can understand that, but he's very much criticized for this emphasis on, you know, net zero, environment. All this is like a new cult, it's like a new religion or something. So there he is with a very much a woke agenda too, also the, you know, woke in just about every aspect. And the previous one, Rishi Sunak, I'm sorry. His main thing is he's there for the, you know, just to make sure that the, how shall I say this, the Ukrainian thing and the Israeli thing goes according to plan, basically. So we have three globalists here, really. I'm going to assume, like everybody else, that Rishi Sunak is going to fail in the next election. And Shadik Khan, he's been failing for a long time. So we have the one in Scotland who might very well fail because he's too late. Rishi Sunak, who will fail. Shadik Khan, who has been failing. And now in Ireland, we move on to Leo Varadkar, who has already failed. He had to resign. Also, born in January 1979 in Dublin. Irish politician. He's an Irish-born nurse, and his father an Indian-born physician. They met while working together in England. They lived in England and then they lived in India for a while, and then they came back to Ireland. Okay, so Leo Varadkar is secular. He says that he's totally secular, but he came to power openly saying that he would be the first gay prime minister. And of course the Irish people voted happily for him, because the Irish people are very modern now. And they're still in that state of adolescent rebellion against the church. You remember in the 1970s, in Italy, the Communist Party of Italy was extremely strong, powerful. They were winning elections, municipal elections everywhere. Okay, and it was very, very probable that they would gain, you know, the power, national. And one of the things in their manifesto was that they were going to do away with the Vatican thing. I don't remember exactly what, but something to do with the Vatican and everybody was saying, yeah. But when they actually came to power and they were going to do it, people got cold feet. Perhaps no. No, you know, because, they'll applaud and clap while you're saying all these things, but when you're actually going to do it, people tend to go back to the womb when you go a little bit too far. And I think Leo Varadkar went a little bit too far here, because he wanted to change the constitution and all the protections for the family there. Mother, father, children, to do away with that, and of course the referendum failed chaotically. So he went too far. He was too sure of himself. So he has already failed. So we have one woke secular person. We have one woke Sunni Muslim. We have one woke Hindu, and we have one woke Shia Muslim, all pressing for this woke agenda. Are you thinking what I'm thinking here? Because I think most of the things that they advocate, I'm not an expert, but they would go against their religion. Of course, the Irish one, Leo Varadkar, doesn't have one. But anyway, it just seems to me interesting, you know. Especially, I'm a Catholic, especially when you cannot be prime minister if you're Catholic. Viva la República. Bye-bye.